o'clock here in the United Kingdom. You're very welcome to spend your breakfast with us here at Sky News, wherever you're watching us around the world this morning. Keep life moving is the government's new COVID slogan, and that's exactly what they hope their emergency measures contained in a new list exempting more critical workers from PINGs will do. But worry this morning from some of those on it about putting others at risk, and anger from those workers who didn't make the cut. We'll put all of that to the Environment Secretary George Eustace very shortly. Also, surfs up the coolest and driest way to travel. We meet the test pilot of the board that hovers above the sea. And love it. Throwback Friday. Speak to one of the country's greatest ever performers. He's 85. Engelbert Humperdinck going back on tour. Talking to him shortly. Friday, 23rd of July. Mission critical. The government views as mission critical the news that thousands of double-jabbed workers in sectors, including food supply chains and other key industries, will soon be exempt from the dreaded PING. It's been received with mixed emotions, concerns from some of those on it, such as NHS workers, that they may put patients at risk, while those left off it are angry and frustrated. So who is on the list and who is exempt? Well, have a look at this. The measures cover 16 industry sectors, including food supplies, essential transport, emergency services, and also the energy industry. To avoid self-isolation after being pinged, workers will have to do these things. A negative daily... Very different to this time yesterday, isn't it? Let's call it fluid, the situation. Talking about it in more detail, Secretary of State today, how big a problem is it?
Well, look, we've been working...
From having to isolate if they're pinged.
Well, under the...
hospitality sector is not included, is it? It's been one of the hardest hits throughout the pandemic. Could they potentially, going forward, be added to the list? Well, August was the date when people who are double jabbed don't have to self-isolate if they've been pinged. The previous Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, of course, would-be Prime Minister, is saying that that should be brought forward.
Well, as I say, it could be that business conferences, including possibly party conferences where you have large numbers of people indoors, there could be a case for it there. You know, we have...
The Police Federation has no confidence in the Home Secretary, do you? You know, you cut 21,000, but yeah.
But she's under her watch. We've been increasing police numbers, and it's also...
Elena is standing by for us in Watford this morning. You saw right at the top of the programme talking about shop workers and who's exempt, who isn't. Elena, good morning to you. What's the situation where you are at Asda in Watford this morning? Looking at what's happening as far as the front pages are concerned this morning, how are they looking at today's story? And the Eye is leading on the news that the pandemic wiped out the UK's music festival programme. Today, Latitude gets underway. I'm sure you've heard of it. The first festival since most lockdown restrictions were lifted. Our entertainment reporter, Claire Gregory, is at the festival. She's with us now. Hi, Claire. Very good morning. Are they all set?
Morning.
OK, for now, thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll be back at Latitude throughout the course of the morning. If you're going and you're really looking forward to us, why don't you send us a tweet at Burley at Sky News and let us know what you're most looking forward to. Now, we've got a real treat for you later on the programme. Before I tell you who it is, tell me which side of the fence do you sit for these two greats? The programme 9:45 to talk about his forthcoming tour, going on tour again at 85. Got more energy than me. Now, the number of 20 to 29-year-olds in England. I've been talking all week, haven't I, about people dying while visiting the beach or the coast in the last 10 days. That figure is now up to 9 here in the United Kingdom. Coast Guards urging people to take extra care during this hot spell. We're going to be talking about the impact of the hot weather on the elderly as well later on the programme. What's we got planned for the next few days? Joe's standing by in the weather garden for us. Joe, good morning. Well, I know that many of you are still trying to look on the bright side despite the intense heat. Check out this interesting alteration to a roadside sign in Northern Ireland. Usually says 30 miles an hour, as you can see. It's been changed in Ballywhitcock to the temperature recorded in Northern Ireland yesterday in centigrade, 31.2 degrees. Very funny. Love it. Now, here's a slam dunk story for a group of teenage basketball players. The under-15s and under-16s teams of Bantry in County Cork in Ireland were looking for a new sponsor. And look who they have managed to land. American supermodel Emily Ratajkowski, I think that's how I pronounce it. She'll be supporting them all next season, and her logo will be featured on the boys' jersey. Emily has tweeted saying she has family ingrained in the Bantry area. The boys are said to be on fire about their new sponsor. I bet they are. Probably looking forward to her visiting potentially as well. Let me tell you about the Environment Secretary. He's told us on the show this morning that the hospitality industry will not be included in the scheme to allow some key workers to avoid self-isolation. And the military are on standby should things get worse. Here's what he told us.
He seemed to basically say, you know, this is what we're doing today. But
That's what they tell us. And he's not going to wear a mask, even though, well, he is going to wear a mask, but he told us he wasn't going to wear a mask.
He doesn't enjoy wearing masks, Kay, but he's still wearing one.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Some events may have already started, but the delayed 2020 Tokyo Olympics officially gets underway today with the opening ceremony. Organisers say the scale-back event will be solemn, with the lighting of the torch taking place in front of an empty stadium because of coronavirus restrictions. Tom Parmenter is in Tokyo for us. He's covering events throughout the Games. Hello to you, Tom. When we say an empty stadium, there'll be a few people there, but not noticeably so. Have the locals, though, been able to buy in to the mood of the Games? Because we have seen some concerns that the people of Japan are concerned that COVID is being brought into their nation.
Wait and see.
OK, sayonara, Tom. We'll see you in the next hour. Thank you. Apparently, how low you bend when you are bowing to someone in Japan gives you an idea of where they are on the scale of status. So obviously when I'm bowing for Tom, I go really low down. Tom reporting for us live every day from the Olympics, so tune in. Look like, what does it mean? The Federation's national chair, John Apter, is with us. Hello to you, Mr. Apter. Thanks for joining us on the programme this morning. So final straws, what are you going to do? Our police officers, and I completely understand the challenges that the Thin Blue Line is facing at the moment. But you know, no confidence in your minister is a big shout. It's a great headline. But what does it actually mean in practice?
Well,
no faith in her. But how much teeth does the Federation have? You've just illustrated really there that you don't have very many when it comes to actually taking any action. And in fact, the Federation, not you personally, I'm sure, but the Federation previously said similar things about Jackie. That much you can do. They're empty words, aren't they? You heard the government representative on the show this morning, a little bit earlier on, and he was saying, well, he has complete faith in the Home Secretary and the work that she's doing. Appreciated, as always. Thank you. Let's put some of those thoughts to the Shadow Police Minister, should we? Police and Fire Service, I should say. Sarah Jones with us now. Hello to you, Sarah. Thanks for joining us on the programme this morning. You've just heard what the Federation have had to say. You know, my question is, what teeth does it have that they have no confidence, no faith in the Home Secretary? What do you think?
Well, this is incredibly sad, and